Good morning and welcome to another edition of Rise and Shine Yoga. I'm Paul, the owner of Oxford Yoga Studio in downtown Oxford, 18 North Washington. We're on the same block, we're on the same side of the street as Red Naps. So this morning we're going to do a little bit of a different kind of yoga class. I don't think we've done this in the many months that I've been doing it. We're going to do some yin yoga. The premise behind yin yoga is that we're trying to strengthen the ligaments, the joints of the body, so your knee joints, your wrists, your ankles, shoulders, hips, all the joints of the body. We're trying to strengthen the bones, the tendons, the ligaments. And what yin yoga is, and it's how it's probably the total opposite of if you've done any other yoga class, is that we hold the poses for a lot longer period of time, usually 3 to 5 minutes. And we're not straining into the poses. So we're just kind of getting relaxed and letting kind of gravity take us and pull us into the poses. And as we go through this morning and do some of the poses, you may notice that a couple things. One, that your mind may be wandering, or your mind may be saying, okay, are we done? Are we done? Are we done? That's completely natural. Normal in yin. That's when I first started yin. That's what my brain was like. And secondly, you might notice is that your muscles might quiver, or it might just, you might notice a tension in different parts of your body. And that's actually a good thing, because that tension is what makes our bones stronger, makes our ligaments stronger, our tendons stronger. So other than that, and so that's really the premise behind yin yoga. So we're not going to do a lot of poses this morning because we hold them for a long period of time. Another thing is our breath is just very normal, relaxed. We're not doing that ujjayi breath or that yoga breath, the in and out through the nose. So you just let the breath be normal, relaxed. Try to get comfortable into the poses. If you need to, you can take your mat, bring it against the wall. If you have a pillow or blankets that you can put underneath your hips or knees that may help you, go ahead and do that. So we're going to get started, and most of the yin poses that I do were done in a seated position, or we're on our butt on the mat. So this first pose is called shoelace, or square. Well, it's called square. And what you want to try to do is square your shins to the front of the mat. So they're like parallel to the front of the mat. And we're just sitting up tall, regular breath. And now we're just going to let the head drop, the chin drop to our chest. Let the arms, maybe the arms can just comfortably, or the hands can comfortably touch the mat in front of you. And we're just going to round the back, let the breath go. This particular pose helps with our hips, our lower back, stretching the upper back. In all these poses, you're really not trying to strain. You're trying to get comfortable. So if you can extend your arms or hands farther onto the mat and it's comfortable, then do it. If not, just bring them close. Let the head drop, the breath go. Any thoughts that come through your head, just, let them go. Let them go in and out. You can close your eyes. In these kind of poses, I also consider yin kind of a meditation, in that you can just, if you get comfortable into a pose, you can just let the mind relax, get centered, be calm. And if during your yin practice you want to listen to some nice soft music, go ahead. And also, if there's a pose that you get into that you really, really like, you don't have to stay in it for just 3 to 5 minutes. You can stay for it as long as you want. Now very slowly come up. We always want to come out of our yin poses very slowly. And now whatever leg you had or shin you had in front, we're just going to reverse positions of the shins. So just reverse them. And again, if you need a blanket to sit on or something under your knees, then go do it. And again, we're just letting the head drop. Our hands can touch the mat if that's comfortable, or our fingertips. And again, the eyes can be closed. Breath regular. Very slowly come back up to seated. In this first segment, we did one pose, and it took about 6 or 7 minutes. So when we continue into our next segment, hopefully you got a little bit of a feel and kind of see how you felt during that first pose, see how your mind was, see how you felt comfortable. If you need to get a blanket or anything in the break, go for it. Get a drink of water. And we'll see you in the next segment, continuing with our yin practice.
Hello, I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Terry Stiles.
Together, Terry and I host the weekly news Monday through Friday at 12, 6, and 11 p.m.
Broadcast on Charter Channel 191 and AT&T UVerse 99, we only cover news that impacts our local Addison and Oxford area. In other words, by all accounts, news that would normally not receive from any other televised source.
But chances are, if it's local, it will be found on Oxford Community Television and OCTV.
For the weekly news, I'm Terry Stiles.
And I'm Elgin Nichols. Together, we invite you to join Terry and me for our next OCTV weekly news program.
Welcome back to our next segment in Rise and Shine Yoga, continuing with our yin practice. And for this pose, you may, or I recommend, getting a blanket. So you're going to kneel on your knees, but it'd be good if you put a blanket underneath your knees just for support. So this is one, and we're not going to hold this one 3 to 5 minutes, but what this does is help to stretch all the ligaments and tendons of the ankle. So you're going to start kneeling on your knees, and then you're going to sit back on your heels. Try to sit up tall. And we're only going to stay here for about a minute, and you'll see why, probably in a couple seconds why. we don't often work the ankle, the foot in much yoga poses. We don't really concentrate on them, but actually we should. And again, the breath is just normal. Your eyes can be open or closed. You can have your hands on your thigh, or you can have them just in your lap. And now, slowly come out of it, like all the yin poses. Come slowly out of it. And we're going to do just one back bend. And again, this pose, we're not going to hold it for too long, maybe just a minute. So you're going to go all the way down onto your belly. And it's called seal. I'll just give you a couple different options. So you're going to straighten your arms, lift your chest like up dog. And having it like this, you'll feel a nice back bend in your lower back. If this is way too painful, then just extend your arms straight in front of you. The farther out they are, it should be less on your back, but you'll still feel a nice little curvature in your back. And again, we're only going to hold this for about a minute. And again, if it gets way too painful, just come down to your belly. Come all the way down to your belly. Now after a back bend, typically like this one, I always recommend going into child's pose, which is what we're going to do now. So come into child's pose. Bring the big toes of your feet together and bring your knees close together since we did the back. And then you're just going to fold forward. Your arms can extend straight in front of you, or you can have them by your side. Forehead can touch the mat. They'll slowly come back up. And in terms, just as a FYI, if you do seal or a back bend for a minute, I tend to do child's pose for a minute. You know, if you did seal for 3 minutes, do child's pose for 3 minutes. So now swing your legs straight onto the mat. And we're going to do a pose, it's called caterpillar. And again, you're just going to let your head drop, your arms just relax down by your side, your chin come to your chest. Breath, very relaxed. Should feel a nice little stretch behind the legs and the back. And again, if there are any thoughts that are floating around in your head of things you have to do today or tomorrow or stuff that happened a week ago, just let them go. Just let them go. Got about another minute or so. Very slowly come back up to a seated position, the front of your mat. As you progress, or if you continue with yin yoga, you'll find that you feel really good after each pose and after a yin class. When I first started yin, like I mentioned, my mind would wander and I'd count the time, but I really did feel a lot better after the class. And so take a break, get some water, maybe get a blanket or get adjusted as we finish in our next segment, our closing poses in yin yoga. See you in a little bit. Welcome back to our final segment of Rise and Shine Yoga and our yin practice this morning. So we're going to do this final segment on our back. So just gently make your way to lie on your back. Straighten both legs onto the mat. And this first thing we're going to do is we're going to keep our left leg straight and we're going to pull our right knee either into the chest or if you'd like a little more of a deeper stretch, try to see if you can pull it into your armpit, keeping the left leg straight. And again, the breath is just normal breath. It's not that yoga breath. We're not going to hold it for 3 to 5 minutes, but we're probably going to hold it for a minute or so. And now release your right leg straight onto the mat. And now we'll bring in our left knee either into the chest or into the armpit, keeping the right leg straight. Now bring both knees into the chest. Really hug them into the chest. And now release the soles of your feet to the mat, having your knees bent and your feet about hip distance apart. We're just going to slowly sway the knees from side to side. This is called windshield wiper. So kind of think of it as the windshield wiper of a car. We're moving it very slowly from side to side, very slowly. Working the hips. Again, breath is just very relaxed. Now bring the knees to center. Hug them into the chest. We're going to go into a spinal twist. So bring your arms out to a T. Let your knees drop over to the right. And in yin, the spinal twist, we're not forcing it up. So we're not trying to get the knees as high as possible to the waist. We're just letting them drop. And if it's available, you can lift your head, take your gaze over your left shoulder. Regular breath. Eyes can be closed. Very slowly bring your knees and gaze back to center. And now we're going to do the other side. So let the knees drop over to the left. Maybe lift your head, take your gaze over your right shoulder. Again, we're not straining, we're just letting gravity take hold. Very slowly lift your head, bring your gaze to center, bring your knees to center, hug them into the chest for a hug. For taking the time to take care of your body this morning. Maybe rock side to side. And however you do, make your way to a seated position at the front of the mat. You can have your legs extended, or you can have them crossed in front of you. I want you to close your eyes, bow your head, bring your palms together at the center of the heart, sitting up tall as we finish with a closing meditation. I want to thank you so much for letting me lead you in your yin practice this morning. The light in me bows, shines, reflects the great energy that comes from your heart. And we end with Namaste.
You're watching OCTV, Oxford Community Television, serving Oxford, Addison Township, and the village of Leonard.
At Oakland County Parks and Recreation, we value what you value: family relationships, community connections, good health, environmental stewardship, and economic stability. Oakland County residents and businesses have invested in preserving nearly 7,000 acres of parkland. Since 1966, 13 parks and golf courses have been acquired, maintained, and improved. Oakland County parks and facilities are made possible by millage funds supported by Oakland County residents. For a home valued at $200,000, the homeowner pays less than $25 per year to support the Oakland County parks. With every generation, families create lifelong memories at Oakland County's award-winning parks. From exciting summer escapades and stories around the campfire to brisk fall walks on wooded trails and snowy winter outings, the outdoors beckons year-round. It's time to get up, get out, and get going at the Oakland County parks. Active recreation options abound. Cross-country ski or mountain bike on tree-lined trails. Scale the rock climbing wall. Get your kicks with soccer at several sports fields. Row or paddle a boat on 4 picturesque inland lakes. It's an easy journey. Most parks are just a short drive away. A quick tip: all our parks and golf courses end in Oaks. To find your favorite, just go to DestinationOakland.com. Click to pick Oceans of Motion water parks at Red Oaks and Waterford Oaks, the Wint Nature Center at Independence Oaks, Teen Adventures, and even entertainment to go. When outdoor adventures on your list, there's fishing, beaches, boating, playgrounds, and seasonal hunting. The campgrounds at Addison Oaks and Groveland Oaks feel like being up north with plenty of recreation options.